For over a century, many state and local governments have required that companies who seek contracts for public works must pay their workers a wage that reflects wages commonly received in the area. The federal government adopted its own prevailing wage requirement with the Davis-Bacon Act of 1931. At the heart of these laws is the conviction that government, as a major buyer in the construction sector, should not act to drive down wages. Indeed, the civic-minded reformers who initially pushed for prevailing wage laws believed that the government ought to use its buying power to enhance the welfare of workers and their families. Critics of prevailing wage laws argue that they inflate government contract costs, but recent economic studies find that prevailing wage regulations do not increase government contracting costs. Here's why. Contractors may pay at prevailing wage rates without the regulation. Improved productivity offsets higher wages. Better skilled workers attracted by the higher wage will complete the job in less time with improved quality. Contractors might absorb the higher wage costs rather than pass them on to the government. And prevailing wage laws also benefit the surrounding community by providing higher wages to help meet family budgets, payment for health care, payment of a retirement plan, better workplace safety, a more diverse pool of local skilled construction workers, additional state and local tax revenues, lower future maintenance and repair costs. In 2008, the Dayton Public Schools incorporated responsible bidder workforce standards in their construction contracts. In addition to requiring the payment of prevailing wages, contractors must also certify that they are in compliance with Ohio's drug-free workplace requirements and that they provide health care and employee pension or retirement programs. Safety training is also mandated. Unlike Toledo and Cleveland, Dayton has not been known as a traditional union town. It took the hard work of several organizations to convince the Dayton School Board of the benefits of requiring prevailing wage language. So what impact will this have on the construction and renovation of Dayton Public Schools and the community at large?
It's been an asset for us, and yes, I recommended, that they, head in that direction because, again, we did get more bidders, more competition, and more diversity in our workforce. And those were our goals that we set when we passed the bond issue in 2002. And, lessons learned through segment 1 and segment 2. And hopefully, we can take advantage of lessons learned, and we do have a file on lessons learned. But we keep working to try and improve the product, not only so that we can better have teaching and learning in the schools, but in our responsibility to the community when they pass so graciously this bond issue in 2002, that we would use local people and we would have a diverse workforce. We met for 6 or 8 months with both what we call the open shop, as well as the union contractors and representatives from the union. And we gave them all a chance to explain why their system was better or the best. And so we listened, and our board, voted 7-0 to go to the responsible bidder language. We are getting more bidders. Prices are competitive. As I said, the more bidders you have, the better prices you're going to get. Okay. But the one thing I do want to stress, we're reaching our goals as far as, diversity. And that's, if anything, our board is more convinced now that we did the right thing.
The responsible bidder language really is much more than prevailing wage. It's really ensuring that the school district is getting quality contractors working on their projects. It prevents the pickup truck guy from coming out there saying he knows how to build something and having a problem. And it's when they went away from prevailing wage, all of a sudden there was this whole group of contractors who said, well, this is the gravy train, we're going to be out building schools and make a lot of money. A lot of these companies came in there and within a short period of time ran out of money. The responsible bidder language really is much more than prevailing wage. It's really ensuring that the school district is getting quality contractors working on their projects. It prevents the pickup truck guy from coming out there saying he knows how to build something and having a problem. And it's when they went away from prevailing wage, all of a sudden there was this whole group of contractors who said, well, this is the gravy train, we're going to be out building schools and make a lot of money. A lot of these companies came in there and within a short period of time ran out of money and actually do the job and has done jobs of a similar nature so that they're assured of getting a quality project.
If you're a school district and you're asking the taxpayers through a local bond measure to invest in your community through school construction, you want to have the best possible work product for the lowest possible price. You want to eliminate cost overruns. You want to make sure that workplace is safe for the men and women working there. You want to make sure the workplace is safe and that ultimately the school is safe. By setting in place standards in advance of construction, everybody knows the criteria by which their bid will be measured. That is fair. If what you're saying as a school district is we want to raise the bar, we want to make sure that we eliminate cost overruns, I want the project done on time, on budget, and professionally handled, then you probably want to look at putting some of these criteria in place, put some of these standards in place. Again, legally, the revised code clearly allows school districts to do so. The revised code clearly gives school districts significant leeway in determining who the lowest responsive and responsible, or in this case, lowest and best bidder is. By putting the criteria that these contractors will be measured against out in advance of bidding, you're leveling the playing field and everybody is on notice as to what the standards will be. But at the end of the day, as a school board member, why wouldn't you push for mandatory safety training? Why wouldn't you push for mandatory drug testing? Why wouldn't you want to make sure that every person that steps foot on that job site has gone through a federally or state-approved apprenticeship training program? The key here is to make sure that the people that are working on that project are qualified, are safety trained, and drug tested. If in fact you take those steps in advance of bidding, you're taking significant steps towards making sure that you have a safe workplace, that your project is going to be done on time and on budget, and that at the end of the day, the school district and the community will have something that it can be proud of.
The opponents of prevailing wage argued and guaranteed the Dayton School Board that if they incorporated prevailing wage, their costs would automatically increase by 15 to 18%. Here are the facts. Meadowdale High School, Resident Park School, and Edison School came in slightly, less than 5% above the estimate. However, the Boys Academy bid came in at 94.62% of estimate. Meadowdale PK-8 came in at a whopping 92.93% of estimate, and Eastmont School came in at 98.05% of estimate. Clearly, you can see that incorporating prevailing wages does not increase the cost of projects. In fact, overall the cost decreased. We encourage all school districts, owners, and users to incorporate responsible contractor specifications, including prevailing wage, in your projects.